My next upload today is with regard to the matters pertaining to the constitutional wrongdoings and treasonous offences that I've been experiencing as a married mother. In this upload, I'm just going to refer to my status and position as a universal light being, as a sentient being, as a sacred royal, as an avatar, as a grand master. These titles, qualifications have all been quietly damaged in a silent warfare in my hometown with the past 3 to 4 years by individuals that have been offensive to my environ and my personal space and my identity. As I've mentioned in previous uploads, there's been the artificial, there's been the spiritual, and there's been incessant efforts by individuals that are claiming to be of reform and good progress and positive developments that have actually been of very serious damages to the Human Rights Declaration and the Constitution of the democracy. So I think it's quite serious when people are artificially using tagging on a sacred light body and utilising sacred light from a woman, a married mother, for intents and purposes that aren't exactly within a consensual arrangement. So the issue of individuals that don't live with a person, the issue of individuals of fraudulence and false reporting, the individuals of exacerbatory and retaliatory offences, these kind of menaces in society are not helpful to progress and autonomy and individuality and uniqueness. So this matter regards the treasures of my light body, my gifts, light and blessings that were damaged since 2016 and 2017, 2018, and the issue of these culprits having continuously violating my privacy, making assertions that are quite dangerous, violating privacy, and making just offences against the Constitution that are quite serious. So I'd really appreciate it if any individuals of the light worker organisations throughout the world would respect the individuality and uniqueness of each faith. A fantastic book I read when I was in University of Limerick studying language and cultural studies was Nathan Dervisa, Wise Nathan, of 3 faiths, there's one God, and everyone has a different perspective. So there are individuals that are overlooking a few very big laws and still making very dangerous offences against faith, religion and family. And I'd really appreciate it if everyone would come to their senses about how they're guilty of blasphemy. They've been of blasphemy, and how they have been defamatory. So this has happened in my community, my hometown, my town of my heritage and my history, and these people are offending my home and family and are on my ancestral grounds and are disrespecting everyone's uniqueness and autonomy as a sentient. Everyone has the potential to be a sentient being. It's a state of evolution, personal evolution, and there are people really intrusive and really rude and crude when they claim to be, in the past 3 years, synchronizing and harmonizing and all this silly talk, when actually that isn't their purpose. So those people that are intruding on a purpose that isn't actually of their blueprint, it's really wise for people to just follow their own path. And those intruding upon my path and that have been trespassing on my property and guilty of human rights violations, violations of freedom, violations of faith, violations of family, privacy, correspondence, violations of all sorts. I'd appreciate it if people would have more sense and sensibility, common sense and courtesy to basically just respect your own purpose. And when you're, fully aware of the reality of a situation that has occurred in this community, that is common knowledge, There isn't anyone being hoodwinked, there isn't anyone being fooled, there's no wool being pulled over anyone's eyes. Everyone is fully aware of the very dangerous damages of a collective that have damaged my light body. It was a collectively orchestrated demonstration, publicised, and in full bravado. They were very proud of their efforts and endeavours, and to this day they're still of offences that are quite insensitive, inconsiderate, and we're at a point throughout this entire situation where people just want healing, recovery, peace and harmony, and progress. So those that are insulting society's intelligence, I'd appreciate everyone being mindful and respectful of the past 3 years, which have been quite serious, as is common knowledge. So those that have been intruding on my purpose and synchronizing, harmonizing, as I'm fully aware, I'd appreciate the legislators of the country knowing the benefits that my work has brought to the country and the disadvantages that the controversy and scandal of frauds of poor establishments and agencies and their negligence have done to their reputation and the damages they've done to the Constitution. So that's quite a mouthful, but there's politicians, practitioners and professionals that aren't mindful, considerate and respectful of the greater being of sacred royals that have worked for the greater good for everybody, and those individuals that of poor practices are of repeat offences. I'd appreciate you considering the damages you've already caused with your negligence.